Can I have a raise of hands on how many of you all have experienced the fact that you attend a wedding and you have no clue how you are related to the bride or the bridegroom? Okay. Let me narrate you a story about once how I experienced that and it eventually turned into an awkward wedding. Toastmaster and fellow guests and Toastmaster presented to me. So I was going to a wedding and I asked my dad, how am I related to him? My dad replies, he's none other than your second cousin. Now hold your horses. Now I'm pretty sure most of you are thinking, okay, we knew our second cousin is getting married, okay, maybe some distant relative, okay, but you didn't know your second cousin is getting married? Okay, that's just tube light 101. Right. Before I answer that question, let me tell you a key fact. Never underestimate the size of a Muslim family. Let me tell you why. So to elaborate and make it much more clear for you all, I'll tell you my family tree. Only on my father's side. So my great-grandmother and great-grandfather had 14 kids. Yes. I'm still trying to process on how that is possible, but apparently they have 14 kids. I have 8 uncles and 6 aunties. Right? And each of those kids has a minimum, we're going with minimum, a minimum of 5 children. Right? Okay, now those 5 children are not my cousins, they are my uncles. Okay? And each of those 5 children had a minimum of 4 kids. My dad's the only dad who settled with 2, that is only me and my sister. The rest of them accelerated for 4 kids. So if we do the math all together, I have a total of 350 second cousins. Now can you tell me, is it wrong for me to not to remember all 350 of my second cousins? I can barely cope up with calculus and assignments which is given by KDU, and then this is whole family drama. So yes, I attend the wedding, of course. And when I was attending the wedding, given the fact that I have no clue who my second cousin is, or the person sitting in front of me is my uncle or auntie, I have no clue about it, and I sit in my table. My dad, on the other hand, has an excellent memory. So because of that, he goes and talks to a person, I met you 18 years ago, do you remember me? And like, yeah, you're this one's, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm this one's. And they start talking and getting to meet each other, where I'm this, two-blind person sitting, I have no idea who the person next to me, and it ended up being almost awkward weddings for me. But, knowing me, I don't like to sit in one place and just wait. I want to keep myself occupied. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to get to know my family cousins. Let's do this for 4 hours. And I start progressing forward, and no clue where to start. I start looking for another person who's just clueless as me, sitting somewhere in the table. And I find a person right in the corner, just clueless as me, sitting right in the table. So I walk towards him, you see what energy Toastmasters. And I walk towards him and I spoke to him. Now I can't go and directly tell me, hi, you're a random person, I don't know, but apparently you're my second cousin. So because of that, I start to build up a conversation. So how I built up the conversation was, I give a random name. I like, are you Atik? There's no Atik in my cousins, but we start off the conversation. And then he goes, no, I'm this, and then like how I related to me. This, and from his own mouth, I found out my relationship to him. He's apparently my eldest uncle's third son. Okay. I start talking to him. But he's a person who knows all my cousins. So using him one by one, individually, I got to know all my cousins. Not all of them. Because you can't get to know 350 people in 4 hours. So one by one, I got to know each and every one of my cousins and how I'm related to them. So coming back to the point of networking, something struck me at that point. That all of my cousins, older, younger, they are my uncles, aunties, all of them are in different professions and different fields. I just found out that one of my uncles is an engineer, another person is working in MAS, another one is a doctor, another working in CB, you find another one is a politician, you find almost any occupation, they are part of my family. And eventually I realized I have a broad scale of getting to know people. I had a really good alumni connections, and not just any connections, family connections. Now I would have known this fact that I'm a VIP person who has VIP contacts until I go and speak to them and start networking. Right. Coming back into networking, what is the importance of networking? Many people have networking for different reasons, but keeping that aside, let's go with something common for almost all of us. Eventually we are all going to face internship. no matter what degree, what year, eventually a year or so you will eventually face internship. And given Sri Lanka's current context, position and competition, internship is just as hard to get as a job. Let me explain why. Reason is, when you apply for internship, many companies, it's an investment. They are revealing sensitive information about their company. They are teaching you as an investment, hopefully for you to stay and continue your job and help your company become better. So internship is now an investment. They are not just going to invest on random people. They will invest on people who has capabilities and certain capacities. And in those type of situations, it's a competitive world, so all of us communicate. You need connections. Just imagine, KDU is not only university with undergraduates. There's several different other universities, private, public, you name it, and each of them has minimum of at least 150 engineers. And all of those 150 engineers from each university is going to apply for internship at the same third year of engineers and same year for all the other undergraduates. So to get in, apart from qualification, you need connections. And for connection, you need to get to know people. And for you to get to know people, you need to network with each and every one of them. So keeping networking in mind, I just use a wedding as an example of how I got to know people. I managed to secure a platform for internship at MAS because of one of my family connections that I met in that awkward wedding. Eventually, all of you all will have connections. It doesn't have to be family. Most of it can be random people who have never met in your entire life, but you are hesitant to go and start a conversation with them. A simple clue: go with a friend who knows them. Tell your friend to introduce you to that particular person and get to know that person. Talk to him, get his details. Start creating a network for yourself, start gathering important people, because eventually at one point, it is going to matter a lot. So let me leave you with a simple message. No matter what degree you are, no matter what year you are, no matter what platform you are, eventually you need connections and you need networking for anything. It doesn't have to be a job, for almost anything in society you need it. So start getting networks, start talking to people. It can be from the most awkward situations. Mine started from an awkward wedding, maybe yours can start in an awkward funeral or an awkward birthday party, whatever. So get to know people and establish your future through connections.
Work in groups? Have you had to figure out a solution to a tough situation and figure it out fast? Have you been alone in that point, or have you been with your friends behind you? Have you had someone who has your back? If you can remember those points, then I'd say that we could all relate to this quote, where alone we can do so little and together we can do so much. For me personally, I had so many instances in my life where I needed people to be with me. And being an introvert, I tend to stay in a corner and sit with my book and stay in the corner of the class and just do my own thing. But at the same time, I've made sure that my friends know that I am there for them. They can call me at 3 o'clock in the morning, or they can call me at 2 o'clock in the evening, and I'll be there for them. And I have had friends who have done the exact same thing. One time, the only thing that I can properly remember at this point, but I didn't want to tell you because it was such an emotional thing. So I was the head prefect of my school, and I had a batch of prefects who would be there for me 24/7. And the thing is, you need to build bonds with people. Being an introvert, being an extrovert, being an ambivert, whatever it is, you need bonds to survive. Our guild had we had our theme of saying that united we stand, divided we fall. That was our quote for the year, and we chose to really embody that. And the thing is that I sort of know and feel that in my life, I would rather have people behind me and be there for people who need me and face things together, because then we can really make sure that we have what we need, we can do things better and we can reach greater heights.